And welcome to another edition of Life Outdoors, and welcome to the Wavy Plus Studios. I am your host, Chris Reckling. Oh, wait a second. That's what we got ahead of ourselves. I'm your host, Chris Reckling. Welcome to Life Outdoors, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for joining us here on Wavy Plus. Today, a little something special for you. If you're a fisherman, if you like to go offshore, you're in luck, because today we have our guest is Jake Boltz. Jake Boltz is the captain of the Fly'N Fish, and he and the crew went up to Maryland recently and won a big tuna tournament. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit more with Jake Boltz. So you're the captain of a beautiful offshore rig, but you're so young. I mean, most of the captains are twice your age, right?
Yeah, twice my age or more.
Yeah, right? I mean, a lot of those guys have been doing this for a long time. So tell us how you got in it and how you got started.
Well, since before I could even walk, really, I had a fishing pole in my hand, and over the years, it just became more and more of a passion, and turned into an addiction, basically, and kept going along and started driving my dad's boat, and we gradually got bigger boats, and when I turned 18, I started driving the boat a lot, and I went and got my captain's license and started running a charter business, and that's how I became one of the youngest captains in the fleet, I guess.
It's certainly one of the youngest, I can only imagine. But let's talk a little bit more about your dad and yourself, and take me back to the very beginning when you first started fishing. What was it about fishing, and do you remember those first times and some of the lessons that you learned, and what's it like fishing with your dad? Because this is a common story for so many different people.
Yeah, I mean, it's so special to be able to share the passion with him. I mean, he's the one who gave me the passion in the first place, and he's given me the opportunity, with his boat to run it, to kind of live out my dream, and to do it with him is super special. I think the first time I went offshore, I was 6 or 7 years old and was with him, and obviously he was running the boat then. And yeah, I have a lot of good memories when I was that young, catching a lot of fish with him, and that's what definitely got me hooked on the offshore game.
Offshore at 6 or 7, I mean, that's a different game out there.
Yeah, I don't think my mom was too happy about me going offshore at that young of an age.
But you know what? Dad says, I got him. And, right now with all the experience behind you, you've got, that's the key. You have to have experience out on that open water, because a lot of things can happen, and you have to be able to find the fish. And if you're running a charter business, there's pressure to catch fish.
Yeah, well, I think that's, a big thing that helps me in the tournaments is I already have so much pressure just every day. People are paying me a lot of money to go fishing, and finding those fish just on a regular charter day is, a lot of pressure.
But do you just take the skiff out? Do you ever take the dinghy out or whatever and just go casting with friends in the shallows? Do you ever, because there's so many different kinds of fishing in Hampton Roads.
Yeah, actually in the springtime I enjoy freshwater fishing.
Nice.
Me and a buddy, before anything gets going in the salt water, we'll definitely go and catch bass and crappie and all that. Yeah. Anything, how do they say, wet a line. Just get out there and have fun.
Just catch fish, right? Okay, so this gets us to, so Jake's here off, still feeling the high from a big victory at the Ocean City Tuna tournament just recently, last weekend. You and your crew took first place in the heaviest stringer. Well, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
To win a tournament like that, a lot of things have to go right. And right now, what's it been like for you guys and your crew to have won that? Because that has to be amazing.
Yeah, we were all definitely on cloud nine. It took I think a day or two to really, settle in and just realize how important it was. And for me, it's not just so much about the money, but up there you got so many great fishermen, some of the best in the world, and to go up there and just compete against those guys is really cool. But to, take home first place, realize how many good fishermen you beat, it's really special.
So we got a little bit of footage here. There's your boat that you brought to us. Thank you so much for that. There's a couple pictures in here. So let's talk about it. 3 days of fishing. First day, you have to have a plan. What was your game plan going into day one?
Like I said, I got a good report from a fellow Virginia Beach captain, and I knew none of the Ocean City guys really knew about it, so ran 85 miles to the south and stayed inshore, and we caught 20 tunas in about 2 hours. and I got out of there and ran offshore and tried to find a bigger fish, just really put the icing on the cake, but that didn't work out. And at that point, we were planning on fishing Friday and Sunday as our 2 days, and I made the decision that we were going to go right back out on Saturday morning just because I knew people were going to find out, and the more and more that area gets fished, the less and less fish there's going to be. So I knew I had a better chance of going back out on Saturday morning and catching one that I needed to catch. And that ended up happening. Saturday morning was a little slower, and there was a lot of boats out there. And about midday, a lot of boats left, I guess, looking for a bigger bite or better fishing. And we stayed in there till the very end. And fishing got really good in the afternoon. We were actually catching a fish right at lines out time at 3 o'clock. So I think we caught all our bigger fish on day 2 in those last 2 hours. So that was a big decision that paid off, was to stay in there all day on the second day.
So, I mean, there's different categories in a tuna tournament like this. The biggest fish, the biggest amount of weight with the biggest stringer, like what you won. The biggest fish, I saw 230 pounds.
Yep, nice big eye.
That's a big. I mean, I guess, congrats to that person for pulling that one in.
Yeah, they. What actually made me go back on Saturday to that spot too was someone had caught, I think, a 216-pound bluefin on Friday, way up to the north, and I knew that my chances of trying to win the big fish had gone down. So I really then focused on winning that stringer level, and that definitely went into my decision to go right back to the same spot and catch more yellowfins on Saturday.
So somebody pulled in a bluefin. How unusual is that to catch one of those this time of year?
Well, it's really not. The last few years there hasn't been many around this time of year, but the boat that caught it, I think, was almost 100 miles to the north of Ocean City Inlet, which is the boundary. You can get 100 miles from Ocean City. Mm-hmm. So they were as far north as you can get. And out of 111 boats, each boat gets to fish 2 days. There was only one bluefin caught in the whole tournament. So I say it was pretty rare.
Okay. So tell me about the rest of the crew. When you win a big check like that, you have to split it up. And tell me about the crew that chartered the boat and how it all worked out. I mean, throw some names out there. I mean, these are friends of yours. These are people that know, this is not your first time together, which is important. You're a team.
Yeah. So the guy that really came to me first and started doing this tournament with me 2 years ago, his name's Gene, and he's from Annapolis. He loves tournament fishing. That's his thing. And we were supposed to do it again last year, and the weather got us, and we had got this new boat, and he was really excited to do it and put together a crew of Tyler, Chris, another Chris, and Jeremy. And Tyler and Chris I had been fishing with for a few years back on another boat that I used to run for somebody else. And then the other Chris Roper, he's actually my dad's high school buddy, which was really cool for them to do that together. And Jeremy was a buddy of his. So it all worked out. Everyone got along really well, and the chemistry was really good. And, yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. Chemistry on a boat, especially in a tournament, is a huge part of it.
Yeah, and there's always, when you're competing, there's always pressure. You always want to do well. After your first day, did you feel like you had a chance? I mean, how'd that go?
I definitely did. I think we were sitting in second place in the stringer. The guy who weighed heavier than us was actually my dock partner. He was docked right next to me up in Ocean City. And when I realized all the people that had fished the first day with me, most of them decided to fish Sunday, I felt pretty good about that, just because I kind of imagined that fishing dropping off. And it did. But, yeah, I definitely, when we were sitting in second, I knew we had a chance, and that's why I wanted to focus on the stringer. Yeah. And I knew the big fish would probably be a long shot. And sometimes a plan comes together and, yeah, you make yourself look smart, but that's not what happens every time.
No, that's why it's called fishing and not catching. So we're going to take a short break now, and we'll talk more about the tournament victory and offshore fishing here in Hampton Roads. Stick around for that, everybody. You're watching Life Outdoors. And welcome back to Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling. I'm sitting here with Captain Jake Boltz of the Fly'N Fish. Jake, welcome back to Life Outdoors. In the first segment, we talked about part of your tournament victory up there in Ocean City, Maryland, the Tuna tournament. Let's talk a little bit more about that. So you had a really good first day. Second day, you went out and you added to your lead. You took home a check of almost $360,000, and people don't realize how much money there is when you're in these types of tournaments. Overall purse of $1.4 million. People always want to know, how do you split it up? You're the captain. How does that all work?
Yeah, so there's a predetermined thing, especially with charters, is the charter takes 70% of the money, the boat takes 30%, and people kind of vary on how they do it. But how we're going to do it on our boat is 15% goes to my dad, who's the boat owner, and then me and my mate split the other 15%. And the guys who have the 70% who chartered it, some paid more than the others, so they got to kind of figure out their own percentages of that, and then they break it off of that 70%.
And when you're in this type of game, it's an expensive game. Offshore fishing, gas alone, everything about it, the boat, you name it, everything. This is not a cheap sport. There's a lot of money involved. You figure all that out yourself, but it's really about the victory.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of gives you credit. And going up against all these other guys. Now, there's a lot involved when you're fishing offshore. There's a reason why the best fishermen catch a lot of fish, but there's a lot of luck involved too. What does it take to be successful offshore?
I think it's just like any other sport. It's all about the reps and just getting out there, being on the water. You see so many different things every day out there, and you learn something new every day you're out there. You never stop learning. And I feel like now we've gotten to a point where we've fished enough, we have a good idea of what's going on, and you can make changes on a daily basis based off just what you're seeing out there, water conditions, sunlight conditions, all that. And like I said, it's just experience. It's all it is out there. Someone who's new to the game, they just don't know what's going on. You might get lucky once or twice. Like I said, there's a lot of luck involved, but on a slow day, that's when the skill comes out.
That's when you make your money as a captain of a charter boat, because your paid clientele, they want to catch fish. And so we're going to pull up a little bit of fishing right now off of Virginia Beach, a little bit of tuna fishing. As we see it, what's it like for you to go about on a regular basis? Does it ever get old? Does it ever get boring? I mean, you're always seeing weather conditions. You're seeing some amazing stuff out there. What's it like?
Man, I enjoy each and every day, and I've always said the day that I don't have fun doing it, I'll be done with it. I just enjoy. It doesn't matter if it's inshore fishing, offshore fishing. To be out there on the water is something I don't take for granted. And you get, like you said, you get to see so many cool things, wildlife. There's nothing better in the world, really.
You're seeing weather patterns. You're always watching the weather. The ocean could be calm one minute and then stormy the next. There's always going to be something. You're learning each time. Any tricky situations out there? You've got a reliable craft. That boat is beautiful. The Fly'N Fish is an amazing looking boat you got there, as
Thank
you know.
you.
That helps, right?
Oh, it definitely helps. You got to have confidence in your boat. That's a huge thing. I mean, safety is the number one thing when you go offshore fishing, first and foremost, before anything else. And to make sure your boat's in good shape and top shape, really, that's definitely a key. You don't want to go out there and not have your stuff together.
Shout out to our mates too. The mates are critical. You're behind the wheel, but those mates are controlling the show. And on this boat, as you can tell, it's a female mate.
Oh yeah, I know Leah.
Do you? Okay, good. So who's your mate? And you have to kind of work together side by side. You have to be in each other's head.
Yeah, my mate is his name's Bill Woods, and we've been fishing together 16 or 17 years now. He was my next door neighbor growing up. We got a pretty special relationship, and when we started the charter business 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, he decided he was going to quit his other job, full-time job, and be our mate. And there's not much I have to say to him anymore. We kind of know each other's next move before it even happens. He works his butt off, day in and day out, and I'm just super thankful to have him.
That's awesome.
None of this would ever happen without him. That's for sure.
You're certainly a team, from yourself to Bill to your dad to the people who charter the boat. For anyone who charters a boat, what is your advice to them? Because, most people, 9 to 5, they're always working. We want to go fishing. Let's go offshore. They don't do it that often. Some do, but some don't. What is your advice to them?
I would say, don't expect the most. Just go out there and expect to have a good time and enjoy the day on the water, regardless of what happens. And hopefully know that your mate and your captain that day are working as hard as they can for you. And if they fail, they're going to be a lot more upset than you are. That's what I always tell everyone. I want to catch, fish probably more than you do, just because I don't want to disappoint anybody.
Do you have any superstitions? I mean, come on. We all heard about the banana on the boat.
Yeah, the banana thing. My mate's not a big believer in that. He'll take a video of himself eating a banana.
Just sitting there eating a banana, and then y'all catch him that day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've had some good days with bananas on the boat.
Banana.
Yeah, people definitely like that one.
Are you so superstitious at all? I mean, do you have a routine? Get your coffee, get out early. I mean, I don't know.
I just try not to get ahead of myself on anything out there. Get too confident.
But you have to have everything tightened up. The boat has to be running right. You have to have your poles, your lines, your rigs. Everything you have to have fresh bait. You have to have everything. Your knots have to be tight. There's so many little variables when it comes to fishing that if there is something not right, it could cost you the fish of a lifetime.
Yeah, and I always say control, what you can control, your tackle and your boat and everything. The things you can control. You can't control the weather sometimes. You can't control how the water looks, if the fish are going to bite. But you can control, some variables. And that's where the luck meets the skill is you get that bite. You got to have the skill and all your stuff in place to be able to capitalize on that bite.
You have to stack the odds in your favor.
Yes.
And everybody wants to be with the captain that does that. Okay, so we're talking with Jake Boltz, captain of the Fly'N Fish, and we're going to take a short break now. We're going to come back and talk more about offshore fishing here in Virginia Beach and beyond. Stick around, everyone. You're watching Life Outdoors. Welcome back to Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling. We are talking about offshore fishing today with Jake Boltz. He is the captain of Fly'N Fish out of Virginia Beach. Recently won first place in the Ocean City Tuna Tournament with the heaviest stringer. So riding high right now, Jake. I'm happy for you guys. Let's talk a little bit more about what's happening offshore. Like, this is prime time. Yellowfin, soon billfish, white marlin, all that stuff. There's always something to catch offshore here in Hampton Roads. What is like right now? Obviously the weather's nicer, but talk about fishing right now offshore.
Yeah, we always consider this time of year, mid-July, late July, kind of a transition period between the tuna season and the marlin season. And sometimes the tuna fishing stays really good, which it has. And there's already billfish showing up. There's a good amount of blue marlins and white marlins seen yesterday and the day before. So hopefully that's a good sign for things to come. The tuna fishing was a little slow for us 2 days ago, and we dropped down and caught a limit of blue line tilefish and then ended up finding the tunas late in the day. So there's plenty of options, a lot of mahi showing up. And, yeah, hopefully soon, the next couple of weeks, we'll be turning more towards white marlin, blue marlin, mahi, all that as the tuna kind of make their way through into the north.
When people charter the boat, do they want to catch meat fish? They want to catch marlin? Do they just want to catch something? What are the groups like?
It varies. Yeah, some people are strictly, we just want as much meat as we can take home, and then some people it's all about just anything that pulls on the rod. And especially in August, I like doing the white marlin thing, and if people want some meat, we'll drop down and catch the tilefish and get them a nice box of meat. But marlin fishing, it's great. They jump around. People can see them. They put on a show. And even at first, if people have never caught one, they're a little skeptical about it. Once they see one jumping back there, it gets them hooked on that.
I was going to ask you, that's sort of the appeal, right, is to watch that fight. Tuna, they're just heavy logs, right?
Yeah, they stay down deep and they pull really hard and they wear you out. I think my group yesterday, I walked inside after we were done and all three of them were passed out with their mouths hanging open. They were exhausted.
Did you limit?
We did, yeah. The last 2 days
Ooh.
after getting home from Ocean City, we got lucky and found some great fishing.
You know, and that's when you come in, you know, another successful day on the water.
Oh yeah, and we got to come in pretty early yesterday. I think we were home 2:00, so a little bit of a late lunchtime. It was nice. Didn't even have to go for a full day.
So we're going to show you a little old footage of some. This is some really old stuff that we have here, but it's bluefin fishing. I think it's off of the Outer Banks, but we'll show a little of this. And let's just talk about fishing off of Virginia Beach. You have to go pretty far, you know. Norfolk Canyon, I don't know, 60, 80 miles. I don't even know how far do you run every time because it seems like it's a long way. How does the fishing compare off of Virginia Beach to, say, Ocean City? And you don't even have to compare the Outer Banks. Just how do we compare to everything else?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we definitely have a longer run than most. On average, we're running 65, 70 miles on your average day, which the Outer Banks is, I think, 35 or 40 miles. So we definitely have some long days with those long runs, but man, sometimes we have some great fishing here that not everyone else gets, and you know it changes all the time. You just never know.
So like you said, the marlin season is heating up right now. August is always a good time. There's the marlin tournament here in Hampton Roads of Virginia Beach. That's coming up. So you'll be fishing in that, right?
We will be.
What's that like for you guys? And is it the same group you're going to be fishing with, and you guys hoping to go two for whatever? I mean, you don't always win the tournaments. I know it's so hard to win, but you could go back to back. I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, we will have a couple of the same guys from this last week's group in the Virginia Beach Billfish tournament, and then a couple of different people. But it's just a great tournament because it's our hometown tournament, and they put on a really great tournament, great food, great tent, great party. So just to go to those alone is enjoyable, and then hopefully we have some good fishing and can compete. And like I said, it's just a fun time every year.
Yeah, it's in your backyard. It's in your hometown. You can sleep in your own bed. I mean, it's kind of like a rite of passage for all you guys down there at the dock. You know most of the captains. You know them all. Then you guys got coming out of town. You go to their town. They come to your town. It's really a tight-knit community, the fishing community, isn't it?
Oh, it really is, and there's definitely that competition there of, I know everyone up there didn't want me to win up there in their home waters, and we feel the same way here in our tournaments. We don't want someone who's not from here coming in and winning. So there's definitely a level of competition there. And yeah, it makes it interesting, but at the end of the day, everyone's friends for the most part and has a lot of respect for each other, but that competition level is high.
So real quickly, we only have about a minute left. Got any favorite fish stories? The one that got away, the biggest fish, the smallest fish, the one that just jumped in the boat. I mean, come on. What you got? Anything?
Man.
I know you got so many great fishing stories. I know that.
Well, I'll give you my story on my biggest fish. I actually was fishing out of the Outer Banks. I was fishing with Captain Steve Richardson.
I know Captain Steve.
He's
great
a
guy.
Legend around here, one
Yes,
of my
he is.
mentors. And we went out there and we were bluefin tuna fishing, and we hooked one, and I'd never reeled one of those great big ones in and caught it in 25 minutes. We didn't think it was going to be that big, and we got it up alongside the boat and had a harpoon in it and all that, and it ended up being 110 inches long, and it took us 2.5 hours just to get it in the boat after it was boat side. So that was pretty interesting. It was just me, him, and his other mate on board, and that was a really cool story because I'd never fished with Steve before that time, and he went out there and put me on the biggest fish I'd ever caught or seen, so that was good.
There's a lot of great captains in our area, and he's definitely at the top, right there with so many of them. And you know what? Congratulations to you. You've got a long life of great fishing ahead of you, and congratulations on the victory there at the Ocean City Tuna Tournament. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck to you and your team, your dad, your mate, Bill, and everybody.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
All right. Well, listen, good luck rest of the way. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching this edition of Life Outdoors. Remember to get out there, get some fresh air, look at the sky, and enjoy your life outdoors.